Let's talk about how you have already everything you could ever need or want in your life. You already have it. I'm bringing you a quote from this book to make my point. Virtually anything may catalyze unhappiness, but its true source is always in the mind. Its true source is always in the mind. That's an important point. Some people feel desperately miserable even when their outer circumstances are wonderful, while others are happy and contented even in the face of dire adversity. We suffer because our minds are afflicted by various kinds of imbalances, which lead us to seek happiness in all of the wrong places. But we can emerge from this hedonic treadmill by identifying what truly ails us and what truly brings us satisfaction. Hedonic treadmill is a term in psychology that is talking about when you're chasing for this pleasure. You know, when you're, I want to eat that. I want to have this kind of very direct sensory experience you could be craving for. That's what it's supposed to be. And the term in psychology explains how that's a treadmill. Like, it never really gets you to feel happy. And yet we do it all the time. We're all the time desperately looking for things that will make us happy. Buddhism refers to this shift in priorities as the arousal of a spirit of emergence, with which we move away from the sources of discontent and set out on the path to genuine happiness. This is the most compassionate thing we can do for ourselves. And that's why we're having this conversation in this video. This video can tap to you in the most compassionate thing you can do for yourself. Self-love. Understanding what are we discussing now is the most important thing you can probably do in the whole day. So to understand why you have already everything you need or everything you could want, let's go to the idea, for example, that you're in a dream. Imagine you're dreaming and you're in the desert. And it's very hot and you're thirsty. You've been walking on the desert for a long time. You're tired. Everything you want is just a glass of water. And then in the dream, you may go through this story on how you find someone who leads you to an oasis, and at some point you get this glass of water and you get in your lips and you drink this glass of water. Yes, but the question is, that is a dream. Is the glass of water actually satisfying you? Is it quenching your thirst? But if it's a dream, are you even thirsty in the first place? It is a dream. You may say, how does this relate to your life? Well, what I'm trying to say is that in the analogy of the dream, you seem to be trapped in a story of a character living this story, like you're in the desert and you know what you want because your body's telling you, but is your body really even your body? It seems so in the dream because you're there and you feel thirsty. But that body in the dream, is it real? How would you know if it's real or if it's not real? This is the part that if you don't meditate, meaning carefully observe your experience directly, it's not possible to understand this stuff we're discussing in here. And you may be missing the understanding you're looking for. The happiness you're looking for. So go back to the analogy of the dream. In the dream, you seem to have a body. When you observe the body is kind of an unstable experience. If you will really focus on the body, you will see, you notice a little bit of this, you can deconstruct the experience of having a body into little instances of little experiences of having the body. I hope I'm not losing you. I hope you can relate to this in your experience right now. It seems that you have a body, but actually you're thinking that you have a body. If you will directly, nakedly observe your body right now, you will notice that your body is a concept for a lot of sensations you have, and you call that your body. So it's just an experience, actually. If you don't think about it, it's just an experience, like in the dream. It's just a dream. It's just an experience. So you go through that dream and you finally get the water, but is It feels good in the dream. But what is really happening in the dream? To start with the fact that you're walking on the desert, it's a very limited experience. Imagine that you're in the dream knowing that you are the dreamer. Like the whole thing is you. You are the desert. You are the water. You are the everyone you meet. You are the guy talking in the video. Your experience of the dream will change. It will be more like an interesting experience. As Alan Wallace was talking about, how people in the facing adversity may still feel content and at peace. You say, how can you do that? How can I do that in my life? Well, this is the trick. You shift your perspective from this little story of me, your thoughts about me, and you connect to the factual truth that there is an awareness that is giving you life. We think in the dream, it seems like it's the water in the glass that is actually giving you life. But the truth of the circumstance is that it's your consciousness in the dream that is giving you the sense that you're satisfied. It's giving you the sense that you're in a body. It's giving you the sense that you're thirsty. It's giving you the sense that you're quenching that thirst with that water. But all of that experience is actually just an experience. And you only suffer when you feel that you're in the desert and you don't have water. I hope I'm not complicating this too much, but this can be a life changer if you understand it, if you start integrating this in your experience. And you get to understand that you may seem that as a person, as a body, you have a lot of needs. You need to get more money. You need to, people respect you in your work or relationship situation. You need this, you need that, you need this, you need that. But that's like the water in the dream. You actually don't need any of that. It's all in a dream. And yes, as far as you believe yourself to be the character in the dream, the thirst is very real. It's experienced as you need to go through that desert to get that water. So that's exactly what is to be experiencing you yourself, considering yourself a person, an isolated person in a body and a mind. And then the world is out there and you need to get this, you need to get that. But you know what? Is that the ultimate truth? You would say, obviously not. That's a dream. How could you prove to yourself that this life is a dream? Well, I don't know if you're into lucid dreaming, but basically the way you wake up inside of a dream is by observing what's happening and noticing the inconsistencies between the story in your mind that says, I'm just a person in this dream walking on the desert, kind of dialogue in your mind, to just actually noticing that you're in a dream. That's how you wake up. You just notice things. And that's basically what every meditation, and actually this book is giving you an important key to get there, which I think most sources kind of ignore or bypass, which is the capacity of really stilling your mind. And when you're able to connect from this depth of your experience, then you can see the fluctuations of perception, and you can clearly see that it's actually a dream. And what happens when you realize that it's a dream? That's when you're aware of the dream. You're aware of what causes the experience. And you realize that actually, even in the dream, even when you're playing this character, you're experiencing this character that's needing this glass of water, you already know that actually it's a dream. So you already know that actually your consciousness is what is creating the whole dream. There is a light, there is a source of consciousness, energy that is creating that experience of a dream. In the same way, that is happening to you right now. You're living as if you were in a dream in a personal story in a body. But actually, if you're able to carefully observe the dream beyond your personal narrative, which we call that meditation, you do that by relaxing and paying a lot of attention to everything as it happens. And you start noticing these fluctuations. In dreams, there are a lot of inconsistencies, and that's how you, this is a dream. Why? Because there's a red elephant that I'm talking to. Suddenly, when you start really just seeing, realize, okay, this doesn't make any sense. That's exactly the same sensation you get when you go deep into meditation and you calm your mind, you calm beyond your mind. Let's say your mind can still be moving a little bit. But the important thing is the depth of your awareness, of your capacity to notice everything at the same time. And then you notice, oh, I'm starting to understand. There's this consciousness that make creating all this experience in the same way in your day-to-day life, your what we call waking life, what we think we are experiencing now, that again is a thought. You will realize, oh no, this is actually sustained by this awareness. You, in order to think, I don't know what problems you have, but imagine you're missing money to pay your rent. Imagine you're looking for a job. Imagine that you have an illness. Imagine that you have all that. The moment that you step a little back and notice the consciousness that it created in the dream, you suddenly realize, you're still in the dream. You're still, as in a lucid dream, you're still experiencing yourself walking through the desert. But your experience of walking through the desert when you know it's a dream, as much as it may feel like an adventure, it is completely different. You still have the same tension. Oh, you need to go through your life and do your stuff and do your things. That's an important point. I'm not saying you should be passive. Just, oh, I'm oneness. I'm the whole universe. This is a dream. This doesn't matter. No, that's passivity. No, get into the dream and do whatever your character is doing, because you're actually not even doing anything in the end. That's a different story. But it really feels, and please be honest with yourself, with me right now, because it feels that your life is very real. And your problems, they feel very real. Like the character in the dream feels very real. That is, it hurts to walk in the desert. It hurts, your body is really out of its place. You really just will die for a glass of water. It really feels real when you are partially experiencing the situation. But you are the dream. That's the solution to everything. That's to notice that the source of everything in your life, it is already present. It's the awareness that is creating your experience. That is meditation. So all the fears you have in your life is actually only fear of one thing. Fear of lack. Fear of not having enough. And you're walking through your life thinking that you don't have. Like you will be in the dream thinking that you don't have water. And you're walking through the desert. That's your experience, right? As a human, isn't it? As a person. When you see from that perspective, it seems that you are on this plot where this whole universe is not really giving and you're striving to get what you need to survive, right? Here's the good news. You are not really a character in a dream. You are the whole dream. And as much as this may seem completely strange for the character in the dream to think they are everything, because actually the character in the dream is a story in the dream. It's not really you, isn't it? It feels like you because you are that character. You're borrowing your awareness. You're lending your awareness to that part of the story that you call this person, this mind, these thoughts, and this experiencing everything from this specific point. You're borrowing your awareness. That's why it feels you. But actually, if you could just relax and open in the dream, which is the same thing in this life, which is another extension of dream, then everything starts feeling like you. You feel connected to everything. That's how you find eternal, complete satisfaction and abundance. Because in the dream, in all the stories in the dream, there is a sense of lack. And that's the fear. Oh, I may not have what I need to survive. But here's the thing. Your life is not given by the conditions in the dream. Your life is the consciousness that is created in the dream. So you can start relaxing. That's the vicious circle. If you don't relax, you will never find out. So you need to back up from all the problems in your life. Back off psychologically. I don't mean that, again, the character in your life will still doing things, but you psychologically are just resting as a background awareness that notices everything happen. Your character can experience thirst in the dream, and you just follow up with that. But that's not even bad when you are just opening to experiencing the source of the experience, which is, in the case of the dream, is your consciousness. In the case of this life, is awareness itself. So if you're able to relax from this limited story, this character that you think you're trapped into, and you just start meditating, which is the capacity of observing things, stabilizing your mind with clarity, and then noticing. And the reason, you may have heard things similar to this before, but you will ask me, okay, I get what you mean, but I still don't experience that. Well, that's the point that I was talking and picking up this book, specifically The Attention Revolution from Alan Wallace. This is talking about the elephant path, which is a Tibetan Buddhist practice on how to solve this problem. Because you're not recognizing that this is like a dream, your life is like a dream, because your mind is too busy and you're too trapped into it. So you need a system to disengage, to disentangle your contracted experience of suffering into the piece of the background of knowing that the source of everything you need, as much as it looks differently in the dream, but the source of everything is already your awareness. In a religious way, we will say, the love of God is the only thing that is sustaining you. Awareness itself, that's the source of energy from which you are borrowing this experience of atoms, this experience of a body, this experience of a world, is all borrowed from your awareness. From awareness. It's not even yours, because you are it. So if this video is opening a crack in your suffering, in your little story, then sit to meditate and stabilize your attention. And the wisdom and the understanding of what you really are will emerge naturally. It's not something no one's going to tell you. It's something you find out when you actually finally stabilize. Like right now, you can do spontaneously. On noticing that you are alive right now. And that the aliveness is just awareness of things. You're not limited to the body. That's what you will start experiencing if you lose your grip from your mind, from your personal mind. You will suddenly see that everything starts just being a effervescent sense of aliveness. And there's no distinction between you and anything else. You start noticing the consciousness that creates the dream. In this case, the awareness that is creating your universe. Just to realize that all abundance is there already for you. That as much as it seems different, but you have everything you need, always, no matter what. That you can rest in peace finally. Because the love of God is the only thing you ever wanted. The love of God is the love of yourself. The compassionate thing of actually considering what we're discussing now. So live today, your life, as if it was a dream. And if you have any problem, sit and meditate.